Hi, I just had not just now, but like a few months ago, had this really um, loving thought, and I really wanted to share it with people that also like might find healing and encouragement and inspiration from it. Um, I just thought of it when, like, after while I was going through a breakup, and I don't know, just like searching for meaning and searching for like uplifting positive things, and this was just one of the things that I thought about. And it's about like the power of a gay voice. And I know that it's like a lot of people don't feel that way, that it's like a powerful thing to have a gay voice. I definitely have not always thought of it that way, and sometimes still don't think of it that way. I still will get like a little bit self-conscious sometimes, occasionally, if I see myself like in a video or something, or I'll notice that, like, oh, that video, like, I didn't sound like as gay or something. And I know, of course, not all like gay men sound like have a voice like mine, or have like a noticeably gay voice, I guess. But I wanted to talk about it because I think that a lot of us still, like, it's like yet another thing that you kind of have to get used to or accept about yourself, or like to love about yourself, or learn to love about yourself, having one. And oftentimes, like, being gay, that's just one thing, and it's like a persisting thing. Like, it doesn't matter if you're single, it doesn't matter like what you're doing or like who you're hanging out with, or like no matter what lifestyle you choose as a gay man, like, your voice has this thing about it that is with you all the time. But my thought about it is that I remember when I was probably like 8. I was homeschooled until 7th grade, so like I didn't have a lot of social interaction. But I remember that one of the first times that I noticed that my voice was very different was at our church, on Mother's Day. We did like, during Sunday school class, they recorded us like saying things like, "Oh, I love my mom because she's like this," like on a microphone. And then during the service, they like played everybody's. And when mine came up, I'm like sitting in the pew, and I'm really, really nervous because I was hearing myself on the microphone while we were recording it, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I sound like a little girl." And that made me really, really self-conscious. And when mine came up and when they played it, like, I think that I would probably laugh now, but I definitely didn't laugh then. But it sounded like a little girl, like, "Hi, my mom." And then I remember, like, I went to this summer camp, and like I went there for like 5 years, and every single year the kids would be like, "Oh yeah, it's the kid that like has a really girly voice." Like, they wouldn't really like make fun of me for it, but they would recognize me as that, or they would like, "Oh wow, your voice like isn't as girly as it used to be." And then, like, once I started like seeing myself on video and hearing myself, I was like, "Oh my gosh, like, I definitely have a really gay sounding voice." But then I had I don't really like struggle with it at all now, because I am older and I'm completely out and very, very happy, and I feel like very blessed to be gay. But I had the thought that, like, I really do think that gay people, a lot of us have like this like deep sensitivity. And I don't know if that comes from like a past a lot of us have of like being bullied, or being misunderstood, or like not liking ourselves. But a lot of us have this like very palpable sensitivity that is really special. And a lot of us are just like very forward about like who we are, and very expressive. And I like think I know when I'm talking like super super gay, and it's when I'm like really excited. So I'm like, wow, this must be something that's like really truthful to us. Like this is something that's really truthful to me. This is something that's like really meaningful spiritually if it comes out when I'm feeling joy. um, and I think like the most like gay speaking men are like really joyful and uninhibited people. um, so I just like I wanted people to like start thinking about their gay voice in a different way, and instead of seeing it as something that like set them apart and they had to like think to like hide it, or just like learn to accept it as something that was like uncomfortable about themselves, like, oh, it doesn't matter anymore just because like I've learned to not be uncomfortable about it. But I think that's like not good enough. I think that you can see it as like this really really profound blessing, because having a gay voice makes people listen to you. Like if you're in a room and you're speaking, people across the room will notice your voice. Your voice will cut through all of the sound. If you like hear, just think of like all the times that you've like passed somebody on the street or heard somebody in a restaurant or at a party who like has a stereotypically like gay voice, and you just notice it right away. And we know that because we're like, oh my gosh, like that makes me like exposed and scared, like kind of scared, and like, oh, I have to like mute myself. But like I think it's really powerful to have this almost this like superpower of being heard. It's like people don't have a choice but to listen to you. They're attracted to your voice, and even if they're, and I don't think that like, I don't think like some people's distaste for the voice isn't only because they might have like a lot of bias against gays, but I think it's also because they like know that they don't have a choice but to listen, and they're like they're like allured by it. And I know, and I think that like why some people think that it's annoying is because like a lot of times we're not saying anything interesting. So like somebody's forced to like listen to this voice, but it's not really talking about anything interesting. It's like annoying to listen to. It's annoying to feel like you don't have a choice but to listen. So I'm not like asking. I don't think that we always have to be talking about something interesting, because we can like talk about whatever we want. But I think it was like a really, really enlightening and loving idea to see my own voice as like a superpower to make people listen to me, to cut through all the noise of the day and all the noise of a setting and make people listen. So I hope that like those of you that are watching because you're struggling with your own voice, just to see that like people are drawn to it, and I think that's really really powerful.